When you are reinventing yourself, would you rather have advice or validation? I'm going to give you the pros and cons of each in this video and help you to navigate this tricky area of support. If you've subscribed to my channel already and have been following me for some time, you probably have already heard about a 1-inch square piece of paper. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do so now, and don't forget to click on the bell notification so you will know when I post and a new video has been uploaded. Now, the 1-inch square piece of paper was something I talked about in one of my first videos about nosy people, and you can see that up here in this video. If I had followed something that Brene Brown had mentioned, is that there are very few people who you really want their support. I mean, you really need their backup for whatever you're doing in your life. And so she suggested to get a 1-inch piece of paper and write down the names of those people and keep it with you all the time. So here's my wallet, and in my wallet I have my 1-inch square piece of paper along with the other change. So I'm not going to show you the names on here, but here's my 1-inch piece of paper, and I keep that with me at all times, and it reminds me of the people whose opinions really matter to me, so that when other people ask me nosy questions, then I can say, well, I don't say this out loud, but I'm thinking to myself, you're not on my little 1-inch square piece of paper. And why 1-inch square? Well, one of the reasons why it's 1-inch square is you don't put a lot of people on there. In fact, I recommend 3 to 8, probably around 5 is the max. These are people that their opinion of you, what you're doing, is going to mean something to you. Now, I recently did another video on how to handle people who are being all up in your business, and you can see that video up here if you want to stop and watch that. But when I did the video, one of the things I left out was that part about the 1-inch square piece of paper, because I had a really big realization in my reinventing process, and I realized that it could be very dangerous to all of a sudden say these people are not just ones that you value their opinion, but you need their validation, and that can be a very dangerous and slippery slope. Why is this a dangerous and slippery slope? Well, at the end of the day, your choices need to be your choices, and your decisions and actions need to be those that you can claim as your own. If you want to know more about what Brene Brown says about the 1-inch square piece of paper and some other great things that she says, you can check out this video up here. In the meantime, what is more important to you? Advice or validation? In the comments below, please type in advice or validation so I know which one is more important for you in your own opinion. Now, when we are reinventing ourselves, we do need the support and the advice and the opinions of others, especially those who are on our 1-inch square piece of paper. But if we all of a sudden turn from asking for advice to asking for validation, that is, instead of just getting their opinion, we want their stamp of approval of what we're doing. And if we don't get their stamp of approval, we change what we're doing or saying or where we're headed, because we need that kind of affirmation from them. That is the dangerous and slippy slope. Yes, you do want their opinion. Yes, you do want their advice, and sometimes it could be advice you need to hear, and it could help you make a course correction that you really need to make. But these people are not you. You don't have to take on whatever they think is the right idea. Sure, you need to listen to them. They're not the nosy people who are all up in your business. They're the ones whose opinion really matters. But at the same time, you don't have to have their complete approval. And if they're very significant in your life and they're ones that are going to support you no matter what, it's not going to matter. If you do something that they don't really agree with, that's okay. Another part of the the slippery slope that can be dangerous. Do you want advice? Do you want validation? Is you only want to receive criticism from those people who have kind of fought the same kind of fight that you had. Those people who have struggled with something major, if they're dealing with major changes in their lives. And that's where you really want to hear some constructive criticism. And I love this quote from Brene Brown. She says, if you're not in the arena also getting your ass kicked, I'm not interested in your feedback. And when she says in the arena, what she means is they're not in there trying to fight the same kind of fight that you have. Whether it's reinventing themselves, where it's some kind of justice issue, you want to hear from those who've also been in the arena, especially if they're also getting their ass kicked. So advice is like an opinion. It comes from somebody who has been there, somebody who loves you, somebody who's going to support you no matter what you do. Validation is a stamp of approval that says, okay, I'm a yes person. You call them yes men. I'm going to say, that's right, that's wrong, black and white, don't do that, do this. That's sort of a control thing. Advice can be challenging. Validation is more a stamp of approval. Validation often just affirms what we already know or who we already are. Advice may be something we really don't want to hear right now, but maybe we need it. Sometimes when we hear advice or opinions from those that mean a lot to us, we really have to say, okay, is it personal? No, it's not personal. They really care for me. They're trying to do the best. They don't agree with what I'm doing. What do I need to take away from this? Is this something I really need to hear? Is this something that's just not helpful at this time? Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person because this person who really thinks a lot of me has put me down or criticized me, saying, okay, they've been through the same kind of situation, or they've been through something similar. I need to hear what they're trying to say. And yes, I hear what they're saying. I'm still going to go ahead and go through with it. Hey, and if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. That's not the point. The point is not to take their advice or their opinion as a chip in your armor and let it dissolve you into a lot of self-doubt. You have got to have confidence in your own ability, because in the end of the day, it's just you. You're the one who's going to have to live with decisions. You're the one who's going to have to live with your actions. One of the difficulties we have when we have criticism that we having a hard time taking, or if we're trying to receive validation and that's really not the thing to do, is trying to figure out, is this what I need to be listening to or not? And sometimes you have to have another sounding board where you can like shoot some ideas out and get some others' opinion, especially those who are in the arena with you. And I have a special group. It's called YouTube for Reinventors, and it's a private group where you can kick around some ideas and share some things that are going on with you and get some feedback with some other people. You might could say, okay, I'm getting this opinion of this somebody who's on my 1-inch square piece of paper. What do I do with this information? Because I'm beginning to doubt myself. And this is the group that can kind of give you some outside feedback that can help you to navigate this tricky area. And I think that it is an awesome way that we can support one another as we're going through reinventing. In the description below, you will see a link where you can go and get an invitation to join this private Facebook group. Have you been carrying around a 1-inch square piece of paper? If you have, please like this video so I know that I'm not alone here, me and Brene. Also, if you're interested, I have a video up here that is one of the Nosy People videos that I did recently. And YouTube thinks that you might like this video up here. And don't forget to click on my face so that you can subscribe, hit the bell notification, and keep up with my twice weekly videos. Have a great one.